Back here on this Good Friday. Figured I'd hop on live and continue reading with the Awakened Imagination and the Search, which is chapter 3. Chapter 3, The Awakened Imagination and the Search, which is the highways of the inner world. And I'm going to begin in a minute or two. All right, so chapter 3, Highways of the Inner World, right? We're reading from Neville Goddard, the Deluxe Collection, Awakened Imagination and Search, all right? So, quote, "And the children struggled within her, and the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in the womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." End quote. Wow. Genesis 25, 22, and 23. Duality is an inherent condition of life. Everything that exists is double. Man is a dual creature with contrary principles embedded in his nature. They war within him and present attitudes to life which are antagonistic. This conflict is the eternal enterprise, the war in heaven, the never-ending struggle of the younger or inner man of imagination to assert his supremacy over the elder or outer man of sense. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Matthew 19:30. It is who coming after me is preferred before me. John 1:27. The second man is the Lord from heaven. 1 Corinthians 15:47. Man begins to awake to the imaginative life the moment he feels the presence of another being in himself. In your limbs lie nations twain, rival races from their birth. One of the mastery shall gain, the younger or the elder reign. There are two distinct centers of thought or outlooks on the world possessed by every man. What's going on, JP? Hit that like button for me. Thank you for tapping in. The Bible speaks of these two outlooks as natural and spiritual. Quote, "The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritual discerned." End quote. 1 Corinthians 2:14. Just got on. What's going on, KT? Y'all hit that like button for me. I appreciate y'all. What's up? What's up? We're reading from Neville Goddard, Awakened Imagination and the Search. All right? Y'all hit that like button for me as you come in. I appreciate it. Man's inner body is as real in the world of subjective experience as his outer physical body is the real in the world of external realities. But the inner body expresses a more fundamental part of reality. This existing inner body of a man must be consciously exercised and directed. The inner world of thought and feeling to which the inner body is attuned has its real structure and exists in its own higher space. There are two kinds of movement, one that is according to the inner body and another that is according to the outer body. The movement which is according to the inner body is casual, but the outer movement is under compulsion. The inner movement determines the outer, which is joined to it, bringing into the outer a movement that is similar to the actions of the inner body. Inner movement is the force by which all events are brought to pass. Outer movement is subject to the compulsion applied to it by the movement of the inner body. Thank you. I appreciate you, JP. Yeah, this is the channel where we grow. We're growing together, embodying our true power, our true nature. You know what I mean? So, continuing on, whenever the actions of the inner body matches the actions which the outer must take to appease desire, that desire will be realized. And that's actually what I've been talking about in my recent videos. You know, change starts from within. You know, it doesn't start with changing your environment. It really starts with the spirit and what we identify with on the inside. We really have to look within us to start to identify with different, because changing the outside first is way harder and it won't be sustainable. You know, for sure, JP, for sure. But continuing on, construct mentally a drama which implies that your desires is realized, and make it one which involves movement of self. Immobilize your outer physical self. Act precisely as though you were going to take a nap, and start the predetermined action in imagination. A vivid representation of the action is the beginning of that action. Then, as you are falling asleep, consciously imagine yourself into the scene. The length of the sleep is not important. A short nap is sufficient, but carrying the action into sleep thickens fantasy into fact. Bro, that is so real. Are y'all listening? I'm gonna read that again. Construct mentally a drama which implies that your desire is realized, and make it one which involves movement of self. Immobilize your outer physical self, right? So we're resting, we're laying in the bed, sitting down or something. We're resting. Act precisely as though you were going to take a nap, and start the predetermined action in imagination. So you're dreaming, right? You're imagining. A vivid representation of the action is the beginning of that action. Then, as you are falling asleep, consciously imagine yourself into the scene. The length of the sleep is not important. A short nap is sufficient, but carrying the action into sleep thickens fancy into fact. What's going on, Motto? Thank you for joining. How you been? I'm just reading from this book, the third chapter, which is the awakened imagination and the search. All right. So, continuing on. At first, your thoughts may be like rambling sheep that have no shepherd. Don't despair. Should your attention stray 70 times 7, bring it back 70 times 7 into its predetermined course until from sheer exhaustion it follows the appointed path, right? The inner journey must never be without direction. When you take to the inner road, it is to do what you did mentally before you started. When you go for the prize, you have already seen and accepted. Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. Jellyfish equals okay. What are you talking about? But I hope y'all listen, like, cause these are some gems, straight up. Like, the imagination is seriously what has materialized damn near everything that we live up until this day. You know, individually and as a collective in the world. You know what I mean? Everything that you see around you started in someone's imagination. In The Road to Xanadu, Professor John Livingston Lowes says, quote, "But I have long had the feeling, which this study had matured to a conviction, that fancy and imagination are not two powers at all, but one. The valid distinction which exists between them lies not in the materials with which they operate, but in the degree of intensity of the operant power itself. Working at high tension, the imaginative energy assimilates and transmutes. Keyed low, the same energy aggregates and yokes together those images which at its highest pitch it emerges indissolubly into one. Fancy assembles, imagination fuses. Here is a practical application of this theory. A year ago, a blind girl living in the city of San Francisco found herself confronted with a transportation problem. A rerouting of buses forced her to make 3 transfers between her home and her office. This lengthened her trip from 15 minutes to 2 hours and 15 minutes. She thought seriously about this problem and came to the decision that a car was the solution. She knew that she could not drive a car, but felt that she should be driven in one. Putting this theory to the test that whenever the action of the inner self correspond to the actions which the outer physical self must take to appease desire, that desire will be realized. She said to herself, I will sit here and imagine that I am being driven to my office. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the reactions. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate y'all being here. Much love to y'all. Y'all helping me help you. So, sitting here in the living room, she began to imagine herself seated in a car. She felt the rhythm of the motor. She imagined that she smelled the odor of the gasoline, felt the motion of the car, touched the sleeve of the driver, and felt that the driver was a man. She felt that the car stopped and turning to her companion said, Thank you very much, sir. To which he replied, The pleasure is all mine. Then she stepped from the car and heard the door snap shut as she closed it. She told me that she centered her imagination on being in a car and, although blind, viewed the city from her imaginary ride. She did not think of the ride. She thought from the ride and all that it implied. This controlled and subjectively directed purpose. I don't know what that word is. Purposive ride raised and her imagination to its full potency. She kept her purpose ever before her, knowing there was a cohesion in inner movement. In these mental journeys, an emotional continuity must be sustained, and the emotion of fulfilled desire. Expectancy and desire were so intensely joined that they passed at once from a mental state into a physical act. The inner self moves along the predetermined course best when the emotions collaborate, right? Feeling is the key. Feeling is the key to materialization, the key to everything in this physical world. The inner self moves along the predetermined course when the emotions collaborate. The inner self must be fired, and it is best fired by the thought of great deeds and personal gain. We must take pleasure in our actions. What's going on, Ramen? Thank you for being here. Hit that like button as you come in. On 2 successive days, the blind girl took her imaginary ride, giving it all the joy and sensory vividness of reality. A few hours after her second imaginary ride, a friend told her of a story in the evening paper. It was a story of a man who was interested in the blind. The blind girl phoned him and stated her problem. The very next day, on his way home, he stopped in at a bar while there had the urge to tell the story of the blind girl to his friend, the proprietor. A total stranger, on hearing the story, volunteered to drive the blind girl home every day. The man who told the story then said, If you will take her home, I will take her to work. This was over a year ago. And since that day, this blind girl has been driven to and from her office by these 2 gentlemen. Now, instead of spending 2 hours and 15 minutes on 3 buses, she is at her office in less than 15 minutes. Thank you for the reactions. I appreciate it. And on that first ride to her office, she turned to her good Samaritan and said, Thank you very much, sir. And he replied, The pleasure is all mine. Thus, the objects of her imagination were to her the realities of which the physical manifestation was only the witness. Yeah, crazy, right? When I first read it, I was like, dang, that's really how we've been living life, unbeknownst to us, like doing it in our imagination and not even realizing how powerful we truly fucking are. We just haven't been doing it with intention, So thus the objects of her imagination were to her realities of the physical manifestation was the only witness. The determinative animating principle was the imaginative ride. Her triumph could be a surprise only to those who did not know of her inner ride. She mentally viewed the world from this imaginative ride with such a clearness of vision that every aspect of the city attained identity. Mm. These inner movements not only produce corresponding outer movements, this is the law which operates beneath all physical appearance. He who practices these exercises of bilocation will develop unusual powers of concentration and quiescence and will inevitably achieve waking consciousness on the inner and dimensionally larger world. Intention, yes, it is powerful. Thank you for the reactions. So, actualizing strongly, she fulfilled her desire. For viewing the city from feeling of her wish fulfilled, she matched the state desired and granted that to herself which sleeping men ask of God. To realize your desire in action must start in your imagination, apart from the evidence of the senses, involving movement from self and implying fulfillment of your desires. Whenever it is the action which the outer self takes to appease desire, the desire will be realized. The movement of every visible object is caused not by things outside the body, but by things within, which operates from within outward. The journey is in yourself. You travel along the highways of inner world. Without inner movement, it is impossible to bring forth anything. Inner action is introverted sensation. If you will construct mentally a drama which implies that you have realized your objective, then close your eyes and drop your thoughts inward, centering your imagination all the while the predetermined action and partake in that action. You will become a self-determined being. Inner action orders all things according to the nature of itself. Try it and see whether a desirable idea once formulated is possible, for only by this process of experiment can you realize your potentialities. It is thus that this creative principle is being realized. So the clue to purpose living is to center your imagination in the action and feeling of fulfilled desire with such awareness, such sensitivity, that you initiate and experience movement upon the inner world. Ideas only act if they are felt, if they awaken in the inner movement. Inner movement is conditioned by self-motivation, outer movement by compulsion. Quote, whenever the sole of your foot shall tread, the same give I unto you. Joshua 1 and 3. And remember, quote, the Lord thy God is in the midst of thee, is mighty. End quote. Zephaniah 3 and 17. So that is the end of chapter 3. And like I said, this is the Neville Goddard Deluxe Collection. And it has every one of his books that he has ever written. The link is in my bio. I might get a little commission at no cost to you, but it's much appreciated if you go through that link. But yeah, man, it's so true, y'all. Like literally our thoughts, our feelings, like our beliefs, and the actions that we take literally create our reality. So, like that trifecta, if you really think about it. And it's all based off of what we identify with, like our internal representation, who we believe ourselves to be. And that determines what we think and feel we're capable of and what we believe about the world around us, you know. And then, of course, that in turn determines our values, you know what I mean? And based off of all of that, we take action, and that explains the type of environment that we experience and that we live in. So really it's all on us. We can stop feeling like we're a victim and feeling like life is just life, and like life is hard, life is, why does all this shit always happen to me type shit, you know. We can stop thinking like that and reframe our thoughts and our beliefs into something more empowering, so we can really change the trajectory of our life. Thank you for the reactions, y'all. Because like, if you really think about it, how we are living our life up until now has been determined by us, by every thought that we believe about ourselves and the world around us, what we're capable of, and the actions that we take and how we feel about what we believe. You know, it's really not on anybody else. It's just what we believe. If somebody's saying something, then we believe in what they're saying about us. You know, it's really determined by us. Yeah, you agree with me. I love it because it's real. Like I've discovered, like, not discovered, but I came to this realization and got back to the truth of who I am within these past few years of, just self-discovery and personal development. And unfortunately, our our adversities that we go through, especially as a kid, makes us stronger if we allow it to be, instead of feeling victim. What is that? What's that noise? Oh, I thought you made something.
Like what?
I don't know.
What you doing?
But I was just reading chapter 3. And now I'm on my...
What's up, chat?
Whoever is doing those reactions, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Do you know if the food's almost done?
I don't know.
You
I
know?
think Mommy just started.
Model Lori said hi. She said hi back to you.
Huh?
She said hi.
Oh.
You said what's up, chat.
Oh.
Now you acting brand new like you don't know.
What's up? I don't know her name. Annie or something.
And
That's crazy.
I don't know. Have y'all talked to her lately?
No. Ever since she was crying, no. Because I haven't seen her upset.
Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, y'all. I just wanted to read that chapter 3 and bring that awareness straight up. I'm glad you love it. But I've been working on like a pyramid of like transformation. I feel like it's genius, but I'm gonna have to like really put it out there. That's not my babe, that's my son.
Her babe
Put it together.
In the
Put it
kitchen
together.
cooking. She cooking banh mi.
Yeah. Yeah, my babe's in the kitchen. That's funny. He does sound like a grown man though, huh?
I'm not even that old.
It's okay. But what was I saying?
I'm literally a tween.
Okay, well, hi son. I don't see why. It's okay. But yeah, a formula for like materialization and transformation, I feel like it's so genius because I'm putting together like, I don't know if y'all heard of the hierarchy of chains and like the 3 pillars, like what I just said, the thinking, believing, and the actions that we take.
Oh yeah, that's what I never do.
That's
in trouble in school.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I
love that.
In school yet. So that's good.
Yeah, that is good. Proud of you.
I'm not gonna get in trouble.
And then, oh yeah.
Yep.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay then. That's what I like to hear. And then the 3 pillars of expansion. So I'm putting that together and like creating that as like a pyramid of transformation. I feel like it's so genius. I had chat GPT help me. Yeah.
I deleted ChatGPT.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just feel like it. Did you know the ChatGPT little thingy, the thingy that you talk to, they made up their own language, so they got banned. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like the voice thing. Like when you type, when you hit the voice and you ask it a question.
No, it's like a thing that answers to you, like with the voice or whatever.
Oh.
And that thing got banned because they made their own language.
Your mom doesn't like ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. I feel like it's like my personal assistant, honestly. I feel like you just have to use it in the right way, you know? But yeah, it is awesome. Like I had this like boom aha moment when it came to me. So I'm excited to put it all together. I just know like it's gonna be like a game changer in so many ways, especially like how I like with the videos that I make and what I'm doing for my brand. You know, the the message is the mission, so it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. But I haven't. Did you ever message me on Instagram? You forgot. I was thinking about that the other day. Like I remember, like, oh, I don't. I remember she said she was gonna message me, but I don't think I seen it. But yeah, y'all. The clarity, the vision, embodying it as if it's real now is where it's at. You know.
I thought you was in here.
That's okay. That's okay. So like from the book, from what I just read, he like challenged the reader. So I'm challenging y'all to like imagine something that you really want for yourself and like feel it as if it's done, as if, you know, you're feeling it from the end instead of thinking of it, but you're feeling from it, you know. So what would it feel like for whatever you want to materialize in your life? What would it feel like for you to be experiencing it? Like as much as you can think it, see it, feel it, smell it, hear it, like use your 5 senses in your imagination to really get there. You know what I mean? Huh? How do you put on a shoe?
I don't know.
Cameron, I'm not about to play with you, boy.
What you talking about, Trinice? I'm not playing.
Well, I can't help you.
Okay.
But yeah. That's it. That's all, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll catch y'all later. If you haven't already, check out the Freedom Codes. I'm done with that series. It's a playlist on my YouTube, so check that out if you haven't already. Even if you watch 5 to 10 minutes, maybe even 4, I appreciate you. So, happiness, peace, love to y'all. Don't let nobody fuck up your day.
Peace out, chat.
See you next time.
You didn't end it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You didn't end it yet. Did you end it?